Summerlin, and live play-by-play coverage begins now.
Viva! Viva Las Vegas! Welcome to Round 3 coverage from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Earl Forsey with our PGA Tour radio team, as we do at the top and bottom of every hour in our live play-by-play coverage. We begin with a leaderboard update presented by Titleist. Once again, it's a leaderboard full of players trusting Titleist, with 72% of the field relying on the speed, precision, and consistency of the Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. Great scoring for a couple of days. We started this third round with 5 players tied for the lead at 14 under par. Not anymore. Adam Hadwin went out today early, shot a sizzling 9 under par 62. He is in and in the lead by 1 at 16 under at the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open. 1 shot back. Also making a move, Brandt Snedeker, 63 today, an 8 under round for him, tied for second. 15 under par with Siwoo Kim, also at minus 15. He's 7 under on his round today. Also 7 under for this third round is Matthew Wolff. Has already made 2 eagles on the back 9, a deuce at the par 4 11th, eagle the 13th. He just made par 14, which means on the tee at a reachable par 4 now. Matthew Wolff just 1 shot back, Fred Albers.
Matthew Wolff has more than enough firepower to reach the par 4 15th with his drive. Playing 301 today, just 277 to the front. Sends that ball on its way. That lands on the green. That's going to chase. That's going to be a good shot. A very nice play. Matthew Wolff, who already has 2 eagles in his round, is maybe 15, 20 feet away from a third. Putting for eagle upcoming from Matthew Wolff. 7 under in the round, 15 under for the week.
Wow, to take the outright lead for a third eagle on the back 9. Matthew Wolff, 1 of 3, tied a shot behind Adam Hadwin, the leader, at 16 under par. John Huh, early today, shot 64. He's in at 14 under. A couple of former champs start their day minus 14. Martin Laird and Patrick Cantlay also at 14 under. And out this afternoon, Austin Cook, Brian Harman, and Peter Malnati. And, of course, Bryson DeChambeau coming off his U.S. Open win, looking for back-to-back victories to start the season. He shot 62 in the opening round. He's at 13 under to start his third round this afternoon, which is now 3 shots off the lead, held by Adam Hadwin at 16 under par. Well, that escalated quickly. Coming on the air, and we've had some low ones already, as this course, again, on a Saturday, getting lit up like it was TPC Summerlin for the first couple of days. Scoring has been low, and 62 on the board for Adam Hadwin to take the lead at 16 under par. So Mark Wilson, 5-time winner of the PGA Tour, and our analyst this week. We start Saturday like it's been all week. Fireworks early in Vegas.
The shootout continues, Earl, for sure. The lowest 36-hole cut in PGA Tour history was yesterday. 7 under par. We went off the air thinking the Sixes had a decent chance of making it. In the end, guys like Colin Morikawa down the road, they shot 6 under par, and they don't have a weekend tee time. PGA Tour players are awfully good, and we already saw the guys coming out early, taking advantage of the earlier tee times, slightly softer greens, really good conditions out there. Brandt Snedeker with the 63, and then just 20 minutes later, Adam Hadwin one-upping him with the tournament low 62 that was also by Bryson DeChambeau the first round, and then Peter Malnati late yesterday. So we're going to see tons of birdies, tons of eagles. We might even get to the tournament record here. Since 2008 was the first time that the tournament was solely at TPC Summerlin. That year, Mark Ternesso won with 24 under par. That's the record. Earl, I think we're going to shatter that one pretty easily.
Wonder if we're going to get there today. With the low scores already, there may be a chance. Obviously, conditions are terrific. Another beautiful day just outside downtown Las Vegas. Let's check conditions and send you down to Fred Albers.
Earl, the weather forecast has changed dramatically since the start of the week. We were expecting temperatures in the mid-80s, even a high of 80 degrees on Sunday with 30-mile-per-hour gusts. That has all been reconfigured. The third day, the fourth day, this weekend is going to be same as the first 2 days. Highs in the mid-90s with very little wind. I would tell you which direction it is, but I can't see anything moving out here. I mean, we are less than 5 miles per hour of a breeze. This golf course is set up for scoring. We've already seen a 62 posted by Adam Hadwin. And guys, that may not be the low score of the day.
60 is the course record here. J.J. Henry shot it back in 2013. And the Rod Pampling, his first round when he won in 2016. So certainly could be. There's going to be guys flirting with that magic number, something in the 50s, and maybe we'll see another one on the PGA Tour. Who knows? The stretch, though, they've got to really focus on is that 13 through 16. Brant Snedeker played those today 4 under. Adam Hadwin played that stretch 5 under. That's where you can really pick up a lot of shots. I know the forecast says what it is, but you never know. Sometimes some of these desert places get some winds in the afternoon. And if that happens, boy, that's going to change things dramatically. So who knows? Maybe we'll get some of those winds, and that would just squish the field that much more.
Well, 7's always a good number in Las Vegas. Siwoo Kim is at 7 under for his round right now. He's at a par 5, final one for him in this third round at 16. Bill Rosinski.
Siwoo Kim with a very nice tee shot here at the par 5 16th, 520 yards on this Saturday. He's got 200 on the number to a front hole location. Kim plays away. And that goes right at the flag. That's going to scoot back towards the middle of the green, but he is going to have, for the second hole in a row, an eagle putt. This one's going to be outside 25 feet. Kim is 7 under today, 15 under for the week, and a chance to pick up a couple of more here at the 16th.
You hear a lot of eagle putts on 16, but that doesn't mean it's an easy shot. The green's only about 25 yards deep, and then you're coming over a penalty area. It's a pretty flat shot. However, guys are dealing with the altitude. The ball starts going a little bit further as the day goes on, and really narrowing in your distances that precisely can lead to a ball in the water. Webb Simpson hit one in the water there earlier today at the 16th, so really nice shot there for Siwoo Kim. He's 15 under par right now.
And it's a week where some of these par 4s, eagle has come into play already this week. It is right now for Matthew Wolff at 15 with a chance for another one, Fred, for the outright lead.
Eagled the par 4 11th, eagled the par 5 13th. Now for eagle from 15 feet away at the par 4 15th hole. This is always meant as a drivable par 4. 381 yards today, but to the front it's just 358. Matthew Wolff, more than enough firepower, put it on the front third and got the ball to release to within 15 feet of the cup. Here's a guy who at one point yesterday was outside the cut line, and now already 7 under par on the round with a chance to take it 9 under. For eagle at the 15th, Matthew Wolff strokes that ball. Now rolling to the hole. He made another one. Another eagle for Matthew Wolff.
5 holes. So the hole out with a wedge at the 11th, and then having the shots on 13, the par 5, and then another great one there at the 15th. That's just tremendous. We thought we saw it coming. Yesterday, hit 18 greens, made a few putts here or there, not as much as he should have, and he's really striking the ball beautifully, and now he's capping it off with some putts going in.
Well, these guys are certainly showing the way. The low numbers are out there. Great scoring conditions, obviously. So Mark Zecchino, for the players out a little later, they've got some catching up to do, but looks like there's a lot of catching up to be had at TPC Summerlin today.
Well, Earl, our overnight leaders are going to start at least 3 back, and in all likelihood going to be outside the top 10 when they put the ball in the ground, about 45 minutes away from the penultimate group, who I'll be with, Brian Harman and Austin Cook. Brian Harman, 2 wins in his PGA Tour career. He's first in strokes gained putting this week, but I think the key for Brian Harman is what he told us after his round yesterday. I like it here. I think I can do well here. So he believes that he's got a chance to get number 3 here this week. That is huge. For Austin Cook, it's an interesting story. Last week, he experimented with the broom handle putter at the Sanderson Farms Championship. Got away from that immediately this week and had 125 feet in putts made. If he can keep the putter going, he has owned the back 9 this week. Get off to a good start. He's 9 under through 36 holes on that back 9, better than anybody else in this field. So if Austin Cook can get through that front 9 with positive yardage, look out.
Yeah, for sure. And Austin Cook, what an interesting experiment. But he said he really, with the broomstick handle last week, he seemed like he really got to see the lines a little bit differently than he had in the past. And his reads were improved, he felt. And so now he's gone back to his normal length putter. And it's still, he's using the positives from last week to carry over to this week and playing some great golf. Guy who won 2017 there at the RSM Classic, and really benefiting from an extra year of eligibility and making the most of it this week.
And now Siwoo Kim has a chance to tie for the lead as Matthew Wolff just took it with an eagle at 15, Bill.
Yeah, I got the eagle putt here at the par 5 16th, downhill 27-footer. Should turn a little bit to his right. Down the slope it goes. Good pace on this one, making its way to the cup. Ooh, that had a lot of pace and slid by, and that stretches out. That might be 6 feet past the hole. Okay, an aggressive run. Still with a chance for birdie here. That would get him to 16 under, but lots of work left.
Certainly an aggressive run back towards the water there. Got a little bit away from him. But the key, though, when you're hit a putt like that, we should all know this. Don't look away in disgust. Pay attention to what it did. That can really help you a whole lot on your next one coming back up the hill.
And right back to Bill Rosinski again.
Yeah, he's going to finish it. That was probably more like 4 feet away. So putting through his shadow. This for another birdie here at 16. Just to get to 16 under par. Gives it a tap, and that crawls in the front door. All right, so he's now 8 under today, 16 under for the tournament. Got the tough par 3 17th coming up.
It's interesting this fall. It seems like guys are really enjoying this fresh start. When you think about the guys that we've won, so like a Stuart Singh, Sergio Garcia, think about Peter Malnati, who played so well last week, and now we're seeing a Siwoo Kim. These guys really enjoy coming off maybe not such a great season the season before and getting a fresh start. Everybody's starting at zero at Safeway, and sometimes that really frees these guys up.
Matthew Wolff has 3 eagles in a 5-hole stretch. We're not lying when we say that things are available and the scoring has been great and the moves are being made early. Matthew Wolff taking full advantage. 9 under par with still 3 holes to play. He's got 3 eagles. He's on a par 5 with the lead, 17 under, and we are just getting started for PGA Tour radio coverage Saturday at the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open.
Those patients aren't with us on site this week, but they've already been invited back to participate next year.
Mark and Earl, it's just a heartwarming story too, and gotten to watch some of the stuff from Mia. Listen to her voice is awesome, and also Connor, another patient ambassador. He wants to be a professional golfer. Mia, of course, wants to continue to be a performer. But what really strikes me the most is their gratefulness. Both of them and the others have talked about how they want to give back to the hospital. It means that much to them. What it's meant to them is they've gone through their illness and their sickness, and they want to just give back. But they've got a great chance and a great chance with life. And so what Shriners is doing, just tremendous, and sponsoring the tournament here and being the benefactor. I just love that part of coming to Las Vegas.
Certainly, and a lot of players enjoy coming to Las Vegas for this great course, great tournament, terrific field this week. And, man, do we have a shootout shaping up. It's already been a show the first couple of days, and they're keeping it up so far, Bill Rosinski.
Yeah, well, here at 17, I'll tell you what, the tournament committee setting up these hole locations at this tough hole, hugging that left side. Today it's back left. And of course, there's water if you go too far left. Siwoo Kim with a okay tee shot. He landed it on the right side of the green. Still with some just inside 50 feet for his birdie try. He comes to this hole 8 under for the day, 16 under for the tournament. If he can make a long one here, still has 18 to go. We'll see what happens.
Now, what's happened right now is Matthew Wolff has made 3 eagles in a 5-hole stretch. The record for the PGA Tour in a single round is 4 eagles made, Fred Albers.
Matthew Wolff. Big drive, 334 yards, 185 into the green with the second at the par 5 16th hole. Drops that right on top of the flagstick. How about back-to-back eagles? How about 4 eagles in a single round? He has that opportunity maybe 15 feet away for Matthew Wolff.
Talk about just keeping the gas pedal down for Matthew Wolff. Earl, you mentioned that the last time it happened was a long time ago. It was a quarter century ago. Scott McCarron back there at the 1995 American Express Championship at Indian Wells Golf Club out there in Palm Springs area. 4 eagles in a round. I mean, 4 birdies in a round is pretty awesome. That gets you pretty high up in the birdie average on the PGA Tour. But sometimes you have these days that Matthew Wolff's having where everything's just clicking, and it's a real skill for you to get out of your own way and just see how low you can go.
Yeah, and I know Duran has played from time to time in Las Vegas. Matthew is hungry like the Wolf on the back 9, looking for another one, and the traditional way, because 2 of the 3 eagles have been on par 4s so far today in the back 9. A hole out from the left side of the fairway at 11. Then made the eagle at 13, and then just drove the green at 15 and made that one a 15-footer. And now he's got another 15-footer for 4 eagles in this stretch of golf on the back nine. Oh, by the way, he started with a birdie at number 10 as well. Amazing stuff, but kind of not surprising for what we've seen this week, Mark Wilson. And look, I mentioned twice near the end of the broadcast yesterday, someone who were looking at that cut and ended up being 6 under, someone that makes the cut just barely, could go out early with the numbers we were seeing and put something on the board. Well, we've had multiple players obviously do that. Hadwin, who made the cut by 1, surged in front with a 62, and now Matthew Wolff working on at least that lower number, with looking to go 1 or 2 more down as he looks for eagle at 16, and likely, even if he misses, going to add 1 more shot to it to get to 10 under for the day.
These guys love to show off. They don't like others showing them up, right? So you got Brant Seneker shooting at 63. It's like, oh yeah, that's really cute, Brant. Hadwin comes in with the 62, and it looks like he's going to have the low round of the tournament for maybe just a few more minutes. Of course, it depends on how he finishes. With Matthew Wolff already 9 under par and on his round today with an eagle putt, so likely going to get to 10 under at the worst. And then he's got 17, 18 to go, and the way he's striking the ball, who's to say he doesn't make a couple more coming home?
Birdies have been flying, so have the eagles today for Matthew Wolff. Looking for another one, a 4th eagle in his second 9 in 60 seconds.
Jason DeChambeau could putt for 5 birdies for 5 eagles during the round. How about Matthew Wolff making 4 eagles in a round? He has that opportunity. Eagled 11, eagled 13, eagled 15, now 15 feet away from his 4th eagle of the round. Matthew Wolff putting at the par 5 16th. Takes the putter back, and the ball rolls up. Approaching the cup, turning, and doesn't go. Leaves that on the hedge. That was a good putt. That was a very good putt. Turns into a tap-in birdie. He is now 10 under par, 18 deep for the week. We are on 59 watch, guys. He needs to play the last 2 holes 2 under par to accomplish that.
Could I say disappointing birdie? For sure. Really good putt down the hill. Lacked a little bit of speed possibly, but it was a quick one. We saw Siwoo Kim just about 10 minutes ago in the group in front have a very similar putt, run it 4 feet by. Bill Rinzinski told us. And so it's one of those where I understood that he might be a little bit conservative, a little tentative, but he was just trying to match up the line he chose with the speed, and it just kind of missed on that right side at the very end. But still, really great round. And for a player in that situation, the key is to just get yourself in the present moment. Move on, get to that 17th tee. Now, this is the most important shot of the day.
Just ahead of him is Siwoo Kim. Let's go to Bill Rinzinski now.
Siwoo Kim now with about 6 feet and this first par here at 17. Had a 50-footer that came up way short. Gives it a tap. That's right in the center. All right, good 2-putt. He's 16 under for the week. 8 under today, 1 to go.
2 major champions starting their 3rd round. The 12:20 local time of Stuart Sink and Sergio Garcia, both in the fairway on the first hole. Sergio 95 yards in the back left hole location. Stuart Sink 102. Of course, guys, already stacking up large FedEx Cup points already early in this super season with 2 wins, a win each in this group. Should be fun to watch these guys put the pedal down today.
It should be, and they've been looking at the scores. They know how low, even if they didn't look at this leaderboard, they know that scoring is really good out there, and they are obviously is playing with tons of confidence. Stuart Sink, new caddy on the bag. Well, not new caddy. His old caddy, Kip Henley, is thrilled to be back on the horse here. He had his son on the bag for those first 2 tournaments that he played in, and probably good to see Stuart Sink that he's able to play with his new caddy. Wasn't sure, that dynamic with his son was so special. I know it was a very special time with him that he got to share, but in terms of his golf game, it hasn't gone away.
Well, and we started the week. This is a terrific field this week. It's got the last 2 major champions, both from this year, Morikawa and DeChambeau. 4 out of 4 winners in the FedEx Cup regular season so far, and Stuart Sink is one of those. 10 out of the top 11 in FedEx Cup points, 15 of the 30 who qualified for the Tour Championship. And a lot of these guys have brought their A-game, a lot of the big names in the mix. And now Matthew Wolff with this surge, he is one of the 25 players who, with a win, could move in front in FedEx Cup points. And with the lead right now, with Bryson DeChambeau in a tie for 12th to start his third round, that's where Matthew Wolff would project to be with a win this weekend, Fred.
On the tee, they move the hole back, they move the tee back. The 17th hole playing 213 yards. Left-hand hole location, middle of the green here. You can't take on this flagstick with water on the left-hand side. That lands on the right-hand side, going to use the contours of the green to feed it down to the cup. That's a nice play. He's once again going to be maybe 15 feet away. Just one birdie here thus far today. That was by Webb Simpson about a half hour ago.
And Webb Simpson played it almost the same way that Matthew Wolff did. You just got to get over this ridge that's kind of in the middle of the green, fly it past that, then everything scoots towards the back of the green. You also got the right little bank there. However, if you miss it right, bailing out from the water, then you hit it in the bunkers, then you got to deal with that bank straight down on your bunker shot. So you got to take on the risk there and try to hit it in that 10 yards, kind of in between the flagstick and the right bunkers, and that's exactly what Matthew Wolff did. Another good look at birdie at the 17th.
Yeah, has not been a birdie hole today. Fred mentioned it's playing long, and you've got always the water lurking left if you make a mistake. But Matthew Wolff, like you said, Mark, played it basically the same way Webb Simpson did. He made an 8-footer for the only birdie there, basically on the same line. So a chance for Wolff to keep it going. Mark Zecchino.
Stuart Singh from 102, his approach, Earl, at the opening hole, par 4. Little trap, draw, sand wedge. Oh, that's well done. That's inside 10 feet. So Stuart Singh says, I've been here, done this. I've seen days like this. Par 65 today out here. Let's start with a birdie at one. Sergio Garcia alongside now, 95 yards. Similar shot would be ideal. This is a little higher, trying to hit a big high draw. That's just going to leak out there from 95 yards, just looking to hit something maybe a little too swoopy there. He's not going to be happy with that one as he takes a look at the divot in the swing outside 25 feet for Sergio Garcia.
Sergio does something that I certainly was taught to do. If you hit a shot that didn't feel right, go ahead and make at least one more practice swing, ideally 2 practice swings, as long as you're not holding up the group behind you to kind of get that bad feeling out and replace it with the feeling that you want for your next swing coming up.
And Sergio has played well this week to follow up his win last week in Mississippi, the Sanderson Farms Championship, 66-64, and you start the day, you're tied for 20th. You're one of 17 players tied for 20th. I mean, that's how quickly things have changed to top the leaderboard. We had 5 at 14 under. Martin Laird, Patrick Cantlay, former champs, with Austin Cook, Brian Harman, and Peter Malnati, the 5 tied for the lead. DeChambeau, after yesterday's round 1 shot back, he shot 62 in the opening round, and now he's sitting 5 behind at this point, where Matthew Wolff has put that lead number at 18 under par, and DeChambeau's not even on page 1 of the leaderboard right now. He's one of a host of players tied for 12th. Wow. Just wow. And we probably going to see more of this today. I'm not seeing any wind so far. Fred mentioned the forecast as the week's gone on. It's changed, and we're basically printing carbon copies of these days this week in Las Vegas. So go by what we've seen so far. We're going to have some low ones again, and Matthew Wolff taking the lead on pace for a 10 under par round right now, in good shape for a birdie at 17. He's probably going to put up the low one of the week, and maybe that's not going to be enough for the lead by the end of the day.
You just don't know. Wow is right. We have 5 overnight co-leaders at 14 under par. You certainly expect one of them to shoot somewhere 64 or better. So that gets you to 21. You feel like that's where the lead's going to be, somewhere in that 21 to 23 range. And the scoring record here, the tournament record, is 24 under par. Last year, Kevin Na at 23 under. So if you like birdies and eagles, if you like multiple eagles on guys' scorecards, this is the tournament to tune into.
Members of our team are proud to wear apparel provided by Cutter & Buck, an official license.
That's 8 under for the tournament.
The Corn Ferry Tour concludes its 2020 schedule in Winter Garden, Florida this week as the path of the PGA Tour visits Panther Lake Course at Orange County National Golf Center and Lodge just outside Orlando for the Orange County National Championship presented by Night 39. Troy Mullinex, he is your leader right now at 20 under par, good for a 2-shot lead over George Cunningham, and that is good for a 1-shot lead over a host of players at 17 under par.
LPGA Tour continuing their 70th anniversary season just outside Philadelphia. This week it's the third of 4 majors on this year's schedule. Se Young Kim of South Korea in the lead, 4 under par, 1-shot lead over 4 golfers tied for second as they play the KPMG Women's PGA Championship at Aronimink Golf Club in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. Our leaders on the back 9. You can tell who Matthew Wolff is, Fred. He's the guy that's on fire on the back 9. Just follow the flames.
Certainly didn't seem like it was going to be a special day for Matthew Wolff. Turned just 2 under, birdies at 3 and 9, but birdied 10, then picked up eagles at 11, 13, 15, and a birdie at 16. Now a 15-footer for 19 under par, 11 under on the day at the par 3 17th. Slightly downhill, maybe fades to the right as it approaches the cup. The forward press and the strike, a very smooth stroke. The ball rolling up to the hole. That looks good. Oh, how does that not go? How does that not go? Hand on hips, taking his time, rubs the back of his neck, looks at it, waits, and then taps it in. That looked good the entire way. Tap in par for Matthew Wolff. He remains 10 under on the round, 18 under for the week. A birdie at 18 ties the course record. A hole-out eagle, that's 59.
Defied gravity, Fred. Perfect speed to get to the hole, so I wouldn't call that perfect speed. You kind of want to get a putt rolling a little faster than that, but since it was going that slow on the low side, had a very good chance of toppling in. So Matthew Wolff still hitting the ball great. Now he's got to focus on the next one. Get that tee shot in the fairway. The hole located in the kind of middle right section, very accessible away from the water on 18, so another good chance for a closing birdie for Matthew Wolff.
Let's go to 18. Bill Rosinski, up to you.
Siwoo Kim trying to close things out in style here on this Saturday. 18th hole, it's 455 yards. He had a good tee shot right down the middle of the fairway, so he's got 146 to a hole located 29 up, 10 from the right. That 29 up is just past halfway. That's how big this green is. Got water on the left and bunkers guard the right side of the green. Right now, Kim is 8 under today, minus 16. Wants to get another one here. And that goes past the flag, spins, and comes to a stop, and that's inside 20 feet. That'll be a birdie trying to get to 17 under.
Yeah, all the way back here at the first green, Stewart Cink and Sergio Garcia. Sergio from 35 feet just grazes the edge. Going to tap in with an opening par, but from 10 feet, Stewart Cink, he converts on that wonderful sandwich. It's a birdie. Stewart Cink to 13 under.
Stewart's been so solid on that range there, 10 to 20 feet. He's made his fair share, and he's got good vibes so far. A couple great finishes, the win and the 12th place last week at Sanderson Farms. So the hole's certainly looking like a big old bucket to Stewart Cink.
All right, leader on the tee now at 18. See if he can finish off this great round. Matthew Wolff gets it to 18 under par, 10 under in the round today, finishing at 18. There have been 6 birdies early on a Saturday so far here. That little deep end trigger and fires away as he's trying to first order business, hit the fairway, get it in play, give yourself a chance, and this ball looks terrific. It's right in the middle of the fairway, takes a big hop, so that is in the mayor's office for Matthew Wolff. Maybe a chance to add one more, or maybe like he did earlier in this back 9, hole another one out to finish things off. Why not?
Nice 300-yard or so 3-wood there just for placement to get it in play. He'll probably leave some sort of a wedge to that whole location. And yeah, when things are going good, maybe spin another one back in there for his 4th eagle on this back 9.
And just ahead of him, he's going to watch as he walks up as Siwoo Kim's got a chance for a closing birdie at that final hole in 60 seconds.
Footer for birdie. And this to shoot 9 under 62. Steadies the feet. Turn a little bit to his right. Bright sunshine here on this Saturday. And he sends this down to the cup. Lots of pace on this to the hole. Misses on the left edge. All right, about 3 feet for par. And if that goes in, he will shoot an 8 under 63, 16 under par heading to Sunday.
Certainly would have taken it before he teed off. I know he's going to see a lot of low scores, and that won't be the low one of the day, but certainly a fantastic move for 2017 Players Champion, trying to get back in the winner's circle.
Today, but can tie the course record with a birdie here and shoot 60.
And we start talking about all the eagles, too. We kind of forgot how low he's going to go in the 20s here. That was for 26, so that putt will now be for a 9 under par, 27 on the inward 9. For Matthew Wolff. Just incredible scoring. We kind of saw it yesterday. He was playing some really good golf, not getting everything out of it. And you could almost say some of the putts he's hit today, he hasn't gotten everything out of it he could. But still, another good look for Matthew Wolff at the last. Already 10 under par on his round playing the last hole.
Well, we discussed the 62s, and we've had a few, those 9 under rounds for the low ones. How about a 9 under back 9? I mean, that's what we're looking at for Matthew Wolff right here, getting it going big time. And the 3 eagles, again, 2 of them are deuces. So hole out at 11, made a traditional par 5 eagle at 13, and drove the green, made the putt at 15. So there you go, a 10 under round. He knocks that one in. That's for an 11 under par 60 on what is now a par 71 at TPC Summerlin. So it is going to be to match the TPC Summerlin record, which is J.J. Henry and Rod Pampling. First rounds for Pampling 2016, Henry in 2013. Of course, the tournament record not going to be reached. That's Chip Beck's 59, Sunrise Golf Club 91.
At the second hole in the fairway, Stuart Sink has already missed the putting surface with his second, found the fairway bunker. Sink at 13 under with the opening birdie. Sergio Garcia now only 109. This is a very different hole location than he saw at 1. This is a front right, cannot miss low or right, something just left, maybe just beyond. Solid strike. This is left of the flag, needs to dig its heels. It will control the spin. Conservative from 109, going to be inside 20 feet, hole high. Sergio going to try to do it with his putter here at number 2.
That shot on the green was probably with his lob wedge, and like some other players do, he actually likes to grind his own lob wedge in the equipment trailer. Boy, that gets the equipment reps a little bit uneasy seeing us players get in there. But there's something he said about kind of getting your own getting your clubs in there and working on them, and then you know they're just exactly where you want them. Sergio Garcia will have a good look there for birdie at the second.
And Matthew Wolff, who's made a bunch today already, has one more look for a birdie at 18 for him, just outside 12 feet for a round of 60. Wolff in the lead, thanks to a 10 under par day, 2-shot lead for Matthew Wolff on a Saturday as PGA Tour radio coverage continues from TPC Summerlin, round 3, the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open.
He stands 10 under par, 12 and a half feet away from tying a course record 60 here at TPC Summerlin on the 18th hole. Wedged in to this distance. We're going to have a back off here, Mark. Mark, what was your personal low on tour, and how do you stay in the present over a score that you could post like this?
I shot 62, 10 under par at the American Express Championship, Palmer private course, and I will say it was easier when you're going that low because you kind of lose track, and that's really the key. You just sort of try to, every time that you think about the score, you slap yourself in the face and go, you know what, stop thinking about this score and focus on this shot.
Matthew Wolff to tie the course record and shoot 11 under par 60, 12 and a half feet for birdie at the 18th. Slowly back and through. The ball drifts up to the hole. He's going to leave that one on the edge as well. Easily could have birdied the last 2 holes for 59. Instead, has to be satisfied with 10 under par 71. That's the low round of the week. He was out in 33, home in 28. Matthew Wolff will have a tee time on Sunday at 18 under par.
Low round of the week, 61, and I will say the last 3 holes were tap-ins. Tap in for birdie on 16, and then pars the last. They probably totaled maybe 8 inches. I mean, those putts were very close to going down. Still going to be a little bit disappointed, I would think, what could have been, but he certainly put himself in good position for a win tomorrow.
All right, you know what to do. Bryson DeChambeau, former champ on the course, 13 under to start his day, playing into the par 4, 409 back hole location. Good shot by DeChambeau, back edge of the green, and that just pulls back a few feet. So 20-foot range for DeChambeau to start his day with a birdie, and he and the rest of the field need a bunch of them now with Matthew Wolff in and 18 under in the lead.
And Bryson decided to just go ahead and lay up off the tee again with an iron. That first hole I thought would have been one of them that he may go ahead and go for it, but so far being conservative on the first hole.
Peter Malnati, 128, playing from the right-hand fairway bunker, gets it out of the sand. That hits in hot. Will it catch the back edge? It does. Trickle back off the fringe, and right behind the hole catches the slope inside 20 feet and settles in behind that back hole location. So a good shot from the fairway bunker at 1-4 Malnati to set up birdie try. Mark?
Yeah, up a hole, Sergio Garcia, who got a great teach from Stuart Sink's birdie putt from off the green, 17 feet, just going to miss. That was two good rolls of the rock. But coming up empty, Sergio's going to open with back-to-back pars. He'll remain 12 under, and Stuart Sink did knock that inside at 2 feet from off the putting surface. So Stuart Sink not going to give back the birdie he made at 1, so good on him. He remains 13 under. They'll head to that tough par 4 third.
Good recovery there for Stewart out of that fairway bunker, and then really good speed for Sergio down the hill there on that birdie. Had a really good look and easy tap in.
All right, first hole now. Peter Malnati, good shot out of the fairway bunker, just outside 13 feet above the hole for his birdie. Smooth stroke toward the cup, right in the middle and down. So Peter Malnati, quickly on the board, gets it 15 under.
That's where he thrives. Last week he was second in the field, only behind Maverick McNeely in strokes gained putting. In his 5 seasons on the PGA Tour, his worst ranking strokes gained putting is 40th. So he knows that's certainly his strength. And so if he can just get himself on the putting surface somewhere, he's going to roll in his fair share. A late eagle yesterday at the 9th hole, his final of the day, got him this later tee time.
And a birdie try, a little bit shorter for Bryson DeChambeau coming up. About 12-foot range for him. Always very meticulous, setting in behind the golf ball for DeChambeau as he's trying to get something going like he had going on Thursday, Mark Wilson. He made 9 birdies to shoot 62. He's going to need a bunch today to catch up.
Well, he's already got another chance here on the first hole. This from 13 feet, pretty much hole high. Nice wide stance. Little left to right, it should go to the back of the green. The ball is on its way with some good pace, and it just misses on the low side for Bryson DeChambeau. He missed a few of those late yesterday, too. I think of the one especially on 18. So Bryson DeChambeau now taps in for an opening par. He remains at 13 under.
5 behind the lead, and the leader is Matthew Wolff. Thanks to a stunning Saturday 61 with 3 eagles on the back 9. Matthew Wolff with the lead by 2, 18 under early on a Saturday as PGA Tour radio coverage continues from Las Vegas. This is round 3 of the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open.
This left side at the 3rd hole so far.
Yeah, Stuart Sink has something almost identical from Sergio, and something good to look at. Just saw a great little shot shape. Saw one access the whole location, so should be feeling good. Birdied the first par at 2. He's 1 under for 13 under, Stuart Sink. Also starts this up the right. Very high. He likes it. He's looking up and down as it turns over towards the hole. Not going to turn over enough. Still a good, smart shot. Center of the green, but that one will be outside 25 feet for the birdie luck for Stuart Sink.
Let's go to the first hole, Bill Rosinski.
Well, we had different strategies off the tee for our penultimate group. That's Brian Harman and Austin Cook. Cook took it down the right side of the fairway. He had 139 to a back left hole location and got it just outside 15 feet. Brian Harman, down the left side of the fairway here, and he's only got 80 yards. So talking with his caddy right now, trying to figure out what to do here. The left-hander with rounds of 65, 63. And Austin Cook, I had a chance to see a lot of his round of golf yesterday, and he had a chance to take the outright lead by 1 or 2 shots. He had that makeable birdie putt at 8. The par 3 finished on the front 9, missed from about 6 feet, and then only made par at the 9th, the par 5. So, but still happy about his game, made a bunch of putts, and we'll see what he can do to start moving day. Harman ready, wedge in hand, 80 yards to a back left hole location. We're at the par 4 first. And nothing but blue skies overhead. This one's in the air. It's going to land short of the flag, take a big bounce, and then kick up. That's a nice play by Brian Harman inside 10 feet. He'll have a look for birdie. He's also 14 under.
That's what he had to do. Didn't have a full shot there. That'd be a 60-degree wedge of some sort for Brian Harman, but 80 yards this week playing shorter, and then with that first bounce kind of going away from you, had to play that maybe in that 70, 72 range and hope for that bounce, which it sounds like he got there at the first. And it brings me to a point I wanted to bring up. It's interesting to see how guys are practicing different. I know back when I was playing full-time on the PGA Tour especially 10 years ago, guys had little cones we'd put out or towels every 5-10 yards on the range from, say, 50 to 100, and you'd try to land it on those towels or the cones. Now with the radar, the TrackMan that everybody uses, Flight Scope, whatever it is, now they get this number that just spits back at them. It knows how far it goes, so certainly a lot easier and I would say less dangerous for our caddies. Our caddies would be the ones that would go out there and put the cones out there on the range, just hoping someone wasn't going to mess with them and try to hit a little low one. And you know the old game, trying to hit the guy driving the ball picker upper thing. That's kind of what sometimes would happen.
Well, these guys are spot on their numbers, certainly so far this week. And Matthew Wolff showed the way today with a tournament low 61 today. That's one off the tournament record at TPC Summerlin, which were a couple of rounds of 60. But a brilliant day for Matthew Wolff, a 10 under par round. In front by 2 at 18 under, a career low round. When he shot 62 the previous low, he won the 3M Open 2019.
Peter Malnati just avoided the desert down the right side on the second hole from the first cutter rough. 116 yards, got a little bit of a jumper. Going to find the green, though. He'll have somewhere inside 50 feet for his birdie. Looking for his second straight birdie to open up this third round. Peter Malnati currently 15 under par.
You're listening to
The
it.
cup, good-looking line, and if Gall's in, little bounce up in the air as it dropped into the cup and stayed in there. Birdie for Austin Cook to 15 under.
The chase for the Charles Schwab Cup continues in Cary, North Carolina this week as PGA Tour Champions visits Prestonwood Country Club just outside Raleigh for the 20th annual SAS Championship. We have a three-way tie for the lead. Vijay Singh, Bernard Langer, they shot 66 in the second round, 8 under par. They're also tied alongside David Toms, also at 8 under par. David Toms, 1 hole left to play in his second round.
All right, so Austin Cook in there at 1. Let's see if Brian Harman at the first can drop one on top of him, Bill.
Brian Harman now, who does almost everything right-handed except play golf. With the left side, the putter from 8 feet away, and that just missed. It caught the lip of the cup. So that was an opportunity missed. He taps in for par, and he'll remain minus 14.
So Brian Harman not able to capitalize on that really long drive down the first hole, but it shows he's going to be aggressive certainly today and trying to make birdies. Unfortunately, not able to get one at the first. He remains at 14.
All right, some issues for Bryson DeChambeau off the tee in the desert area at the second, so he just popped it into a front bunker and a fairway bunker and playing in there, and he left it short as well. So trouble off the tee for DeChambeau. Had a tough time playing it, had to just pop one lay up, and yeah, he's scrambling to try not to drop a shot at the second hole, 13 under, Mark.
8 feet for birdie. Sergio Garcia, third green, puts it on the right edge. Drawing back to the hole, rolls it right in the front door. Sergio Garcia now to 13 under par. Playing alongside Stuart Sink. Stuart Sink lagged up his 35-foot putt, taps it in for par. So both players 1 under through 3 holes. Both players 13 under.
Sergio Garcia putting with his eyes closed last week, and I really feel like that was his first week doing it. Even though he told us he's been doing it for 3 years, been doing practice, and every once in a while I would go ahead and put it into play. He said he did it on most putts when he won the Masters 3 seasons ago. But that was the first time any of us really noticed it. And it really frees him up to just go ahead and stroke it. There's no hit at the ball, and Sergio Garcia's stroke looking better and better. Great birdie at the third.
Which is why I'm doing the entire broadcast this weekend with my eyes closed as well. Matthew Wolff wide open on the back nine. He made 3 eagles in a 5-hole stretch, shot 61 to take the lead, and he's ready to speak to Fred Albers.
Matt, there's no way you can be disappointed with a 61. And yet, you know, you are inches away from shooting 59 hanging putts on the edge of both 17 and 18. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was really pleased with today. Started off really slow. Felt like my swing was coming together, but, you know, on the front 9, I was still kind of looking for something and found it kind of starting on 10, really, and then it kind of just took off from there. Missed a few ones coming down the stretch, but like I said, I put myself in a really good spot for the final day tomorrow, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with my ball striking and how everything's coming together.
Talk me through the 3 eagles.
Yeah, so I made a 3 on a par 5, a 2 on a par 4, and then a 2 on another par 4.
I understand all that, but tell me about the hole out on 11 to begin with.
Yeah, I had about 118, and the ball's going far here, so I took lob wedge, my 62 degree, which right now is I can probably get like a little over 120 out of it, but it was just a smooth one, and one hop, I think skipped past the hole and spun back in, so really nice to kind of jumpstart the back nine. And then par 5 was another great drive, and then a perfect number on the second shot. Hit my hybrid way up in the air and rolled in a putt for that. And then the 3-wood on 15 was, probably one of the best shots of the day.
And another 15-footer that you rolled down for your third eagle. The putts on 16, 17, and 18. To me, it looked like every one of them was going in. Were you satisfied? Did you hit them the way you wanted to and they just didn't break correctly?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really get too aggressive on 16 for eagle. I thought Matt left his quite a bit short and it got there, and I knew that if I tried to get a little too aggressive, I could have a 3-4 footer coming back. So I thought I made it about 2 feet out, and it kind of just snapped a little harder than I thought. But every single one of those putts, I hit it right where I wanted to, and got the speed right. Felt like I, hit it on my line and just didn't go in. But the greens are pretty tricky out here. I still could putt a little better, but like I said, I was really happy with my ball striking's at, and I'm sure the putts will drop tomorrow.
Great round of golf. A pleasure watching you play again.
Yeah, thanks for following.
We talk a lot about George Gankis, his teacher, and of course he's helped him with his golf swing, but George Gankis also helps Matthew Wolff with his mental approach, and he's really big on being okay with all outcomes and to have no expectations when you go out there. When you're going low like that, you got to have no expectations. You got to be okay with the outcome that you might not make a birdie. You might miss a putt that you feel like you should make, because that'll free you up to really reach your potential. But I think back to that hole out at 11, it was really funny when he made that shot with the 62 degree. The caddy joke was, hey, thank goodness the caddy said lob wedge. I think Matthew Wolff maybe wanted to hit one more, hit a little softy in there instead. The caddy urged him to hit the full lob wedge. Turned out to be the right call.
I mean, a 2 on a par 4, an eagle on a par 5, and a 2 on another par 4 may be the best answer we've ever had in the history of PGA Tour radio. Bill, out to you at 1.
Martin Laird playing first from the right side of the fairway here at the first hole, 107 yards to a back left hole location. Then landed right, spun back down the slope, and he'll have inside 20 feet uphill putt for birdie. And now Patrick Cantlay will work quickly here. Both players start the day in the final group, 14 under par. And after what went on with the morning scores, they find themselves 4 shots back of Matthew Wolff. But lots of birdies and eagles to be had. Here's the play by Cantlay from 105 yards. And he takes that just by Martin Laird's ball, and they're literally side by side, within a foot of each other. Laird will putt first. We'll see if either can make here at number 1.
Certainly a good opportunity at the first. And Earl, that reminds me, you think that was a good answer, and I agree with you. It's probably the best answer since Seve Ballesteros was asked how I think he was 4-putted at Augusta one time. He says, I miss, I miss, I miss, I make.
It's right up there with those two. Two of the greats all time, Fred.
Peter Monati with a 2-putt par. He remains 1 under through 2 and 15 under for the week. Now Bryson DeChambeau. His chip went 7 feet by the cup. This is for bogey to drop only 1. Bryson DeChambeau takes the putter back. The ball approaching the hole. He missed that on the low side. Turns into a nasty double bogey for Bryson DeChambeau. Remember, he flirted with disaster out here, hitting a provisional, and was able to make par on Thursday. Back to 11 under now here.
It caught up with him here today, missing it to the right. Something about that tee shot. He had a beauty there yesterday, down the middle, over 350 yards. But something about that elevated tee shot, a little dogleg right, might be in Bryson's head a little bit. It'll be very interesting to see how he plays that one tomorrow when he gets there. But he's already hit 4 tee shots off of that second hole, and he's only played it 3 times. Unfortunate double bogey to drop Bryson DeChambeau back. 2 over par today, already through 2.
Let's go back to the first hole, back to Bill Brzezinski.
And Martin Laird will putt first, uphill, 22 feet away for an opening birdie. The Scotsman sends this up to the cup. Nice looking line, and he kind of gave up on it at the end. Moves off to the right. Let's see if he finishes up here. Watching was Patrick Cantlay, because he's got the same putt, but just a foot closer. There's the tap-in. Par at the first for Martin Laird.
This group, that Martin Laird, Pat Cave, under par per round, so he's looking to get out there, 66 is basically par for Patrick Cantlay, and of course Martin Laird with that win back in 2009. These guys have great vibes at TPC Summerlin.
Yeah, and Laird, you remember, could have been back-to-back wins. He was one of the victims of that hole-in-one in the dark, the walk-off hole-in-one by Jonathan Bird to win that playoff in 2010, Bill.
Well, Patrick Cantlay now, 21 feet, same line that Martin Laird had. This will be for an opening birdie. When Cantlay won here 3 years ago, the winning score was 9 under. That barely got you into the weekend this week. Shows you the difference scoring conditions and the weather can make. Here's the 21-footer up the slope here at the first for Patrick Cantlay, looking for birdie, and he's got it. Dead center. He loves this golf course. He's to 15 under.
And not surprisingly, off to a great start already there for Patrick Cantlay. The year that he did win, it was a little later in the year. It was the first week of November 2017 when he won, and I remember watching that one on TV. I didn't play that week, but it was blowing. Over the 18th hole, I believe, playing into the wind. Guys hitting mid-irons in there. We're seeing guys hit 3-wood and wedges now. So, yes, the wind, the weather, like Bill Rosinski talks about, can be a huge factor. We may not see it, but like I mentioned earlier, sometimes these little windstorms pick up in the desert, and boy, that can make it that much more tricky.
Stewart Cink has already hit his approach into the fourth green. He'll have inside 20 feet underneath the hole for birdie. Now Sergio Garcia from the left rough, 132. On a very good line, needs to get up. Oh, and that's just going to settle in just behind Stewart Cink's golf ball. So Sergio Garcia also going to have something in that 20-foot, maybe just outside the 20-foot range for Sergio Garcia. 2 birdie looks from underneath the hole here at 4.
A lot of red numbers are being shot in Vegas so far this week. None lower than the 61 that Matthew Wolff had early here on a Saturday. And Wolff with a 10-under round has a 2-shot lead on a Saturday. 18 under par as we continue our PGA Tour radio coverage of the season-long points race for the FedEx Cup. This is round 3 of the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open.
Front right hole location. And this putt is on the way. Should move to his right. And he starts walking as soon as he hit it because he didn't hit it hard enough. Okay, the tough par 4 third is coming up next. That's a 2-putt par. He remains minus 15. Up a hole to Fred.
And playing into the par 4 third hole from 168 yards. Peter Malnati, that's a nice-looking shot. It's going to be right by the flagstick, then spins it to a halt in the 10-foot range. Peter Malnati already 1 under par through 2. Has a great look at birdie upcoming here at the third to go to 16 under.
Playing with some serious confidence. And I don't know, I just get hungry when I watch Peter Malnati. He's got the kind bars on his chest. He's got a slice of pizza over on the right there, sporting Lou Malnati's Pizzeria. It just makes you want to eat when you look at Peter Malnati. And boy, he's been feasting here on the PGA Tour for the last week and a half.
Yeah, Lou Malnati's the best in Chicago. No doubt about it.
I agree, Earl.
You can get it delivered, but it's not the same. Let's go up ahead and get down back out there to Mark Zecchino.
Sergio Garcia has already 2-putt for his par at the 4th green. Now Stewart Cink, 19 feet, will work to his left. This for birdie to the hole. Not going to get there. He'll be disappointed in that stroke. Just kind of waved at it a bit for Stewart Cink. Still a good start. Tap in par. 1 under through 4. 13 under for the championship.
This little stretch here, 2 through 4, really some meaty par 4s. You get some pars here, it's really okay. So Stewart with that birdie at the first, 1 under through 4 holes, pretty satisfied.
So, Mark, you mentioned the Malnati tie-in, and that's a Chicago thing, deep dish pizza. And look, they're all great, and not to disparage any others, but Lou Malnati's is a classic, a favorite in the Windy City. So he's got that name tie-in, which is great for him. When I was in Chicago, I was working for a radio network about a year, living and working in Chicago. Actually, around the corner from me, a couple of blocks away, there was a Forsy's restaurant there. Had nothing to do with me. I went in a couple of times and thinking, I'll get the credit card. Nobody knows. Spelled a little differently, and some spell it with an S instead of a C. And I do have family up there. Had it in Chicago and up your way in Wisconsin's where my dad's from. But yeah, it's interesting. And the thing with, and you know this well, with Chicago, certainly it's hard to find a bad meal anywhere there. And Malnati's, yeah, he's rocking all that stuff, and he's rocking on the golf course. I mean, nearly won last week. Put up that low one Sunday and had a real chance at the end to win before Sergio came through and played 18 brilliantly. And Now he's right back at it in Vegas, so a guy with plenty of momentum, and with the second last week, looking for another high finish again this week.
Earl, you were probably just looking.
7.2, the scoring average, nearly 4 full shots under par today, Bill Brzezinski.
Now Martin Laird in the fairway here at number 2, the par 4, left himself 132 yards to a hole that's located on the front right portion of the green. Coming off a par at the first, and this one is airborne. And that comes down almost hole high left, but that's a good 25 feet away. Laird has birdied this hole the first 2 days of the tournament. He's going to have to make a long one here to do it again. He is 14 under.
It's understandable to kind of guide it over there to the left. That whole location there on the second is 3 from the edge, 7 from the front. And anything I'd say about 6 feet right of the hole there at the third is going to go down to the green side bunker.
Patrick Cantlay next, another former champ in the mix this week, Bill.
And a former UCLA Bruin. And he is a little bit closer than Martin Laird, middle of the fairway, but just 101 yards away. And, of course, coming off that nice birdie putt he had at the first. Big divot after contact. Holds that follow through right over the flag. Let's see if this spins back. Well, it'll spin, but not come back down the slope. So that'll be a downhill, long downhill birdie putt for Patrick Cantlay. He's 1 under today and minus 15.
Sergio Garcia with the tee at the par 3 fifth. 204 today. This is a back right hole location. Oh, this is on a very good line. Has he pulled the right club? He has. Oh, that one's in there nice and tight. That's tight like an Elvis jumpsuit at the Hilton. Sergio inside 5 feet looking for his second birdie of the day.
That's a great reference there. That gives a good visual there, Mark Cicchino. A great shot there, back hole location. The first 2 rounds they had in that front part on the 5th hole. Kind of a kidney-shaped green, sits about 45-degree angle to the players. And so this one a little bit more difficult to get close. The green side bunker a little bit more in play there, but good shot for Sergio Garcia. Have a really nice look down the hill.
And Sergio following up his winning week at the Sanderson Farms Championship with another good one, like Malnati, playing well this week. So, boy, all these players that we have a great field this week, and the 4 winners from this fall section of the schedule so far, and most of them, if not all of them, have shown up to play in Vegas, Fred.
Bryson DeChambeau just rolled in a putt from off the green for a bounce-back birdie. He's back to 1 over after that double bogey. Now Peter Monati from 13 feet back through. Oh, up and out of that quickly. That ball was about a yard away from the strike, and Peter was walking after it. That'll turn into a 2-putt par. Peter Monati through 3, 1 under, 15 deep for the week. Bryson DeChambeau 1 over and 12 under for the week.
And the final group, we've got a couple of former champs, Cantlay and Laird, with putts coming up at the second hole in 60 seconds.
This fall, never miss a second with PGA Tour Live. How about it? Non-stop action.
Birdied the first hole, long downhill birdie drive. It's 35 feet away. His shadow right over that golf ball right now. All in black, hat, shirt, shoes, and pants. Putt is motoring down that slope, swinging to the right, and he's watching this go by on the right side. Makes a motion with the right hand about the break that putt took. So a little bit of work left for his par.
Patrick Cantlay loves that outfit, the all black. He wore that on the, Thursday in the very first round, and why wouldn't you? It works really well. Patrick Cantlay looking to get his 3rd win on the PGA Tour. I mean, it's been some journey for Patrick Cantlay through some injuries, some personal tragedy, and all that kind of stuff to work his way out of all of that and now be such a world-class player.
Yeah, Patrick Cantlay, the man in black, and he's been Johnny Cash in Vegas really the last 3 years after the win in 2017, runner-ups in 2018 and 2019, and right back in the hunt again on the weekend, Bill.
Yeah, Jerry Glanville used to be the man in black when I was doing the Falcons games, and he would always leave tickets for Elvis. Here's Martin Laird, 23 feet across the screen from left to right. This for birdie. Sends this down the slope, turning to the right, looking pretty good. Another knee bend from his caddy, and that wouldn't go. Let's see if Martin finishes this up. I think he will. Pretty good pace on that. Putt taps it in. That's a par. 2 pars to start. He's still 14 under.
I'm not saying Patrick Cantlay's wearing the black to be superstitious, but I thought that was very interesting last week on the Corn Ferry Tour. Evan Harmeling, who ended up winning, played really well on Saturday, and he did laundry Saturday night and thought, why don't I just wear the same outfit on Sunday? And so they had pictures side by side. Here's him on Saturday, here's him on Sunday. Certainly worked as he was the eventual champion on the Corn Ferry Tour down in Savannah last week.
Stuart Sink has already 2-putt for his par at the par 3/5, so he'll remain 13 under. Now Sergio Garcia, after going flag hunting here at the par 3, only 4.5 feet. And it appears like he feels like this is going to just wiggle to his right. Sergio's shadow covering the hole, settling in, shouldn't matter with his eyes closed. Putter back, puts it on the left edge, and it breaks hard to the right. Oh my, that is disappointing. He put it on the left edge. That looked that in a 4.5-foot putt, it appeared to me like it may have moved an entire cup from left to right. That's going to be a missed opportunity. Sergio going to tap in for what is a very disappointing par for Sergio. He's going to remain at 13 under.
Usually it's easy to say that the golfer peaked early, but he wasn't looking at the hole, so I don't know if he opened his eyes a little too early. The whole idea of, when you say someone peaked early, usually it's because you pick up your head, your shoulders a little bit, and you kind of just look, and that influences the blade of the putter. It usually means a push. Sergio Garcia there, that downhill one, left to right, certainly a tough putt for a right-handed golfer to get the ball on line. Sergio Garcia, unfortunately, not going to take advantage there, and it will remain at 13 under par.
We'll go to 4. The man who finished second to Sergio a week ago, Peter Malnati, playing that par 4. Fred Albers.
450 yards today, 310 to clear the bunker on the right. Peter Malnati hit 3 wood to stay short of the bunker, once you know it. Caught it really well and hit into the sand. From 149 out, Peter Malnati looking at a back right hole location. This is tight to the edge of the green as well, just 5 paces off the right-hand side. Caught the lip and just bounced into the fairway. He didn't lose his turn. Peter Malnati has not made a single bogey this week, but being challenged now out here at the 4th.
That's such a deep bunker. It kind of juts out into the fairway, makes that tee shot that much more difficult. Hence why Peter Malnati was hitting the 3 wood off the tee to try to just keep it short of it. Unfortunately, not able to clear that lip, and so now he's going to be faced with a wedge shot to try to get himself up and down to that back right hole location at the 4th.
I mean, he just slammed it into the face of that lip there. It's a kind of a high grass lip at that part of the bunker, so he's lucky it popped out of the bunker. But Malnati, who did make the birdie at 1, had that great opportunity set up by a great fairway bunker shot at 1. Some trouble there at the 4th, Bill.
Well, here at the par 4th, this is the toughest hole on the golf course each and every year, each and every day as they play this tournament. Brian Harman with a chance to get a birdie here from 15 feet after a couple of pars to start. The lefty sends this up to the cup, and that would not drop. A little scratch of the ear as he tries to figure out why that didn't go in. Tap in par, so he remains 14 under.
One of the many University of Georgia golfers out here, Georgia Bulldog, and he's a bulldog on the golf course there, Brian Harman. Unfortunately, 3 straight pars to start, but at this stretch of the golf course, not so bad.
Back at 4, Peter Malnati. You're still up, Fred Albers.
Oh, and Peter birdied the first hole. I'm thinking, here it is. This is a day for Ole Mizzou. The Tigers defeating LSU in Columbia, Missouri earlier this morning at Faurot Field. And Peter Malnati leading the tournament, but Peter, who has gone 39 holes without a bogey, being challenged just outside 120, playing his 3rd into the par 4 4th hole. This right on line, going to skip to a halt, maybe 10 feet below the cup. He's going to have a putt at saving par out here. Peter Malnati playing the 4th.
He gathered himself really well. Certainly not happy with that second shot. Maybe bit off a little more than he could chew there in terms of trying to get the ball to the green out of that fairway bunker. But there took his time, got the yardage. A nice wedge shot there to give himself a chance.
Let's head back to the 3rd hole. Bill Rosinski, back to you.
Yeah, Austin Cook's taking a long time to line up this 9-footer. This is for a birdie. He birdied the first hole, had a good look at 2 from 18 feet, couldn't get that to drop. And I believe over 125 or 130 feet worth of putts yesterday for him. He'd like to make this 9-footer to get the 16 under par. Sends this on its way. This is tracking, looking good. Nope, not good enough. It's going to miss on the right. He He's going to put a coin on this to finish up, but that'll be a par for Austin Cook to remain 15 under.
Such an important round yesterday for Austin Cook. After that 63 in the first round, followed up with that 65, and he got out of the gates early with 3 birdies on 10, 11, and 12. And I think that really settled him and said, you know what, this isn't a fluke what I did yesterday. This is how I'm playing. And then what do you know? He comes out and birdies the very first hole today. So Austin Cook's still playing some good golf.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open from
Third of 4 majors on this year's schedule. And finish for the day, Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, Adirondack, just outside Philadelphia. Se-Young Kim shoots a third round 67 to lead Brooke Henderson and Anna Nordqvist by 2 shots at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. 2-shot lead for Matthew Wolff here in Vegas. Fred Albers.
By winning the Classic at the club at Weston Hills in Fort Lauderdale, Florida on Friday, Justin Doden climbed to 5th place in the local IQ Series season-long points race and secured his place in the limited field finale next month. Bryson Nimmer continues to lead the standings, with the top 2 scheduled to earn a start in a PGA Tour event next year, along with the winner of the season-ending local IQ Series championship at TPC Sugarloaf outside Atlanta. That tournament was originally scheduled for Paradise Island in the Bahamas, but was relocated due to travel restrictions associated with COVID-19.
Let's head over to number 3, Bill Rosinski.
Well, Cap Patrick Cantlay, another fairway hit. That's 3 out of 3. 183 for his second shot here at this tough par 4. He's playing 471 yards today. 13 up, 6 from the left is the hole location. Again, holding that high follow through. That lands just to the right of the flag. That's a pretty play by Patrick Cantlay. He's going to have a good look for birdie inside 15 feet, trying to get to 16 under.
Such a calm competitor, Patrick Cantlay, actually, after his freshman year at UCLA, decided to play some PGA Tour events and came out and was actually pleasantly surprised by the quality of play. He kind of thought that the professionals out on the PGA Tour were just a bunch of steps ahead of those college players, realized he could play, and decided that then after his sophomore season that he would go ahead and turn professional.
Let's go back to Bill.
Martin Laird getting ready to hit his second shot here. He's got 165 yards. Again, middle of the fairway. Martin hurt his left knee. He was with everybody else after the Players' Championship on hold, and he was planning on coming back and playing the Charles Schwab to start to get the restart going. And he had just moved into a home in Denver and just collapsed one day. Left leg gave out, and he had meniscus surgery. Kept him out pretty much the rest of the way. Here's his second shot, and this lands on the middle front part of the green. That's okay. That's outside 20 feet. That'll be for birdie. Laird with 2 pars to start this round. And I can tell you guys that when you watch Martin line up putts, he very gingerly gets in and out of the crowd. So I still think he's got that left knee surgery on his mind, but it's great to have him back out playing.
Up 1 hole, Fred Albers.
Bryson DeChambeau with a huge 389-yard drive, but wedged into only about 25 feet and missed the birdie putt. Now Peter Monati, 3-wood off the tee, into a fairway bunker, caught the lip coming out, then hit his third about 10 feet below the hole. To remain bogey-free for the weekend, 15 under. Peter Monati, the slight forward press, back through, up to the cup, missed it, and missed that on the high side, and that rolls out to 4 feet or so. Not sure he lost his turn.
Sergio Garcia, 119 to a back right hole location, center of the fairway, par 4-6. These have 13 under par. This is just left of the hole. That digs in inside 10 feet. So another good iron shot for Sergio Garcia. Needs to get the putter woken up here. Needs to get something out of these shots here. He's at 13 under par.
Sergio Garcia, for about 15 years now, has been counterweighting his irons, puts some extra weight in the grip end, and if you've seen Sergio Garcia swing, you kind of understand why. He's always had that swing where he's got the lag and he kind of drops it behind him. He wants very heavy-headed clubs, and if the grip was that light, he'd have a hard time feeling it the way he wants to and getting his hands back in front. So Sergio's been doing that for a long time, and boy, what a great iron player. And yes, Mark, another good look, and you start getting frustrated if you don't knock those down. So Sergio, another good look there at the 6th from inside 9 feet.
Back at the 4th hole, Fred Albers.
Now, Peter Monati was able to make his 4-footer, 4-bogey, his first bogey of the week, back to even in the round and 14 under for the championship. But Bryson DeChambeau, remember, hit that 389-yard drive, just 69 yards in, did not hit a good wedge, about 25 feet, and then 3-putted from there. So Bryson DeChambeau has a double bogey, a bogey at the fourth, a birdie at the third. He is back to 2 over on the round and 11 under for the week. Bryson DeChambeau in reverse right now.
The putter has been so cold today all of a sudden for Bryson. You think about the putt he hit at the first hole, missed a good birdie chance inside 15 feet, and then missed the short bogey putt there at the second. He did make it from off the fringe, but in terms of putting stats, that won't be considered putting. That'll be just a chip in, basically. It'll be good for his scrambling around the green number, and then to go ahead and 3-putt there after that huge drive. Certainly he's thinking now the law of averages got to kick in. He's going to make